Hi, this is Helen from crystalsandcrochet.com. Today I would like to show you how to make a folding single crochet. Okay, so you can see here made into a circle. Here we've got a triangle. It can equally be done in squares, any shape you like really. It's a wonderful three-dimensional stitch. Gives a lovely raised effect. Can be used for any sort of project. I've used it in quite a few of my designs, including Radiance, Heart of Friendship, and of course in Mandala Madness, where we used it both in a circular around towards the end, but also in the points of the stars in the middle of the Mandala Madness. Okay, so I'm going to show you first of all making in a circle, and then I'm going to show you working around corners. Okay, so we're going to start off. You can obviously continue in all one colour. If you do, make sure that you join your slip stitch into the front loop only, and that you leave these back loops free, so that as you work up your first chain 4 for a treble, you're only working into this front loop and that you're leaving that back loop free. I'm going to start with a standing stitch, so front loop only, and then we're going to do a treble. Okay, so obviously I work in US terms, so standing, front loop treble, and then let's just work a few more. Because I'm working into a circle, I'm going to need to make a certain number of increases to keep my circle nice and flat. So I'm on row 3 here, so I'm doing an increase in every second stitch. Okay, now let's pull that up a second. Don't worry if you get this lifting on the bottom loops here, because once we fold that stitch over and secure it with the folding single crochet in the back loop, there won't be any pull here, the same that you can get with some normal designs. If you were working normal stitches into the top here, it would tend to pull more. Okay, another little handy hint. A lot of people, when they're making trebles or longer stitches, have problems with the top loops becoming baggy. Do your 2 yarn overs as you normally would, and then just roll your hook down so that the stitch folds over the top of your hook. And then we go in front loop only and make that stitch exactly the same as you normally would, and as you can see, it gives you a really nice neat top to your stitch. Okay, let me just show you once more. We're on a 2 here, so just roll down, let it roll forward on your hook like this, and just complete your stitch as normal. You'll also notice I hold with a pencil grip, and I tend to use either my second or third finger to hold the yarn in place and stop the hook sliding up and down too much. Okay, so I'm going to continue and work all the way round. So all of those stitches in this round are going to be front loop treble. Okay, so here we are, just that last stitch to go in. And take the yarn through. Now obviously you can carry on in the same colour if you want to. I'm using different colours just really so that you can clearly see the different stages of the stitch. Again, if you're using the same colour, make sure that you just join into that front loop, leaving the back loop clear. I'm just quickly going to do an invisible join. That's how I like to work, and it very, very clearly helps me to see exactly which stitch is where. Okay, so don't work your tail ends away yet, but what I would suggest that you do is just pull them through to the, whoops, come on, pull them through to the front of your work. There we go. They're going to be out of the way. You're very clearly going to be able to see and work into these back loops here. Okay, so they're just out of the way in the front. Okay, so let me take a new colour yarn on my hook. Again, this is just purely so that you can see all the different stages of the stitches. The important thing to remember is however many stitches, trebles, you've made into the front loop, you must make the same number of folding single crochets in the back. So here I'm going to be working in a pattern of 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, you want to make sure that you get the folding single crochet in exactly the right loop, because otherwise, instead of getting this lovely, neat, even shape, it'll start to skew and twist slightly. Okay, so we're going to go through the back loop of the treble. Let's start in that next one, so that's the first of the two. There we go. Back loop of the treble and down into the corresponding back loop there. Yarn over and pull through 2 back loops. Yarn over through 2. Okay, back loop of the treble, corresponding back loop below, yarn over, pull through both of those loops, yarn over through 2. Okay, so the first part, all you're doing is joining those 2 back loops together, and then you're making a single crochet. Okay, show you a few more. Here we've got 2 going into the same stitch, so that one is going in that same back loop through both of those back loops and through, and you can see that that's starting to roll and fold those stitches over. Okay, let me just show you a couple more through the back loop, through the corresponding back loop behind, yarn over, pull through both of those back loops, yarn over, and make a single crochet. Okay, so I'm just going to carry on all the way round, and I'll catch up with you again when I get back round to the beginning. Okay, so here we are. I've just got the last couple of stitches to make. Those 2 are going into, oops, the same back loop, and then that last one is a single one. Again, join to that first stitch however you prefer. Let's just pop a slip stitch in there for now. Okay, so there we have, all the way round, our folding single crochet. Okay, so this is how it should look. It should sit up nice and proud. there's your single crochets all the way around the back. So as you move on to work your next round, it's really easy to just get into that single crochet and make your next round exactly as I have here. Okay, of course if you want to, you can use this as an edging. Makes a really nice raised edging to any project. Okay, now I would like to show you corners. Okay, in this corner, excuse me, you can see that it's got a really nice defined shape. Okay, there are 5 stitches in that corner. If we do less than that, we'll get a much wider, flatter looking point. Okay, so here I've come to the last stitch before the point. Okay, so if I show you on the back, there's the last stitch. Here's our point loop that we're going to need to make 5 stitches into, and this is the next one that begins the straight side again. I've put a stitch marker in there. I would recommend that you do this because it's very easy when you're trying to make so many of the folding single crochets into just one loop to skip over one, and then again you'll end up with your work skewing slightly. So that one in there just tells me don't go in there yet. Okay, so exactly the same as we did before. We're going to go into the back loop of the treble, into that corner back loop, through the 2, through the 2. Now it's quite easy to do 3 stitches into that back loop. When you get to the 4th one, it sort of starts to get a little bit full up already. So very often I will actually turn my work to make sure I'm absolutely in the right stitch. And the same with the 5th one, making sure that you're absolutely in that right stitch. Let's pop that out. Let me just do a few more coming down so that we can then see exactly where we are going. Okay, so you can see here's the end of the straight line, here's the beginning of the straight line, and we've got 5 folding single crochets all made in that same corner. Okay, which gives us a really nice sharp pointed corner. I'm just going to carry on down and then I'm going to show you the difference with only using 3 stitches in the corner. Okay, so here you can see that I've only done 3 stitches in that corner, and when we look at the 2 together you can see that this corner is much more pronounced, more pointed. This one is a wider, flatter corner. So it just depends on the effect that you want, on the shape that you're trying to create, as to whether you would go 5 stitches in a corner or only 3. Okay, so that is how we make a folding single crochet. I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you again. Thank you.